Cambodia is a dirty, crime-ridden, filthy rat trap. Oh, it's so dangerous. You'll get all your stuff stolen. Really undeveloped and dirty. You can't shout here. I become more calm and less likely to shout. And I've never once in my life seen a person from Cambodia running. In America, we never take off our shoes before we come into the house.
Meet Eric, an American teacher and a YouTuber who has spent the last 4 years in Cambodia. Today, Eric discusses some misconceptions about Cambodia, shares his life experiences here, and explains why he enjoys living in Cambodia more than in America.
Every time you hear somebody talking about Cambodia, oh, it's so dangerous. You'll get all your stuff stolen. And I have never felt in danger, ever, in Cambodia. My wife, who's just a little Thai lady, she's never felt in danger, even alone at night in Cambodia. And in my video, I literally tried to get my stuff stolen. I had no idea what would happen. I took a phone and just left it on my motorbike for half an hour, and nobody even cared. Nobody took it, and had my laptop sticking out of a tuk-tuk to the riverside and back, like literally this far out of the bag, and nobody took it. And I threw my wallet on the ground when no one was looking and just ran away and put a camera on it, and nobody took it even off the ground. Like, try that in the United States and see what happens. People think that Cambodia is a dirty, crime-ridden, filthy rat trap, and they're wrong. Cambodia is very different from the place it was in 1979. 1979, people forget, at the end of Khmer Rouge, that's a lifetime ago almost for a lot of people. Like, I'm nearly 50 years old. This started at the beginning of my life. Cambodia is a completely different place than it was 50 years ago. And Phnom Penh is a lovely place. Our neighborhood especially, you can look around just at all the trees and stuff that are around everywhere. Cambodia is getting more developed all the time. It's one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Money is making its way into every part of Cambodia, and the Cambodian people have more money than ever before. People either think it's like still under the genocide or something like that for the people who are really disconnected, or the people who visited here 20 years ago or are like, oh, this place was really undeveloped and dirty 20 years ago. Well, okay, 20 years is a long time, and I can say that Phnom Penh, at least, is a wonderful place to live. I know Siem Reap, Kampot, there's lots of really nice places in Cambodia, and the countryside is pretty.
What is the struggles living in Cambodia?
I don't have many struggles living in Cambodia. There are some things that could be improved. Like, nowhere's going to be perfect. In our neighborhood, it's kind of the walkability, which I know I've just said how great it is to walk, but like there's no sidewalks. So you are kind of like putting your life at risk every time you walk up and down the street. You hope that everybody will walk around you and move around you, or you hope everybody will drive around you and not into you. So that's a little bit of an annoyance. Some manufactured goods are a little more expensive in the States because they don't manufacture much in Cambodia, so it has to be imported, and that makes it expensive. But it's not like a huge downside. Like, okay, so my toasters are 25% more. I mean, I can live with that. I would say if you're from America and you're not used to being abroad, maybe some of the things that will bother you are the differences and like the way they do things. Like, it doesn't bother me because I've been here for a while, but like, you would expect that if you're going to get your car fixed and they say it's going to be a day, then you should assume it's going to be 3 days because everything just takes longer. You can't react the same way to people who make you angry as you do in the United States. As you can't yell at people because culturally you look like a buffoon if you yell here in Cambodia. You don't look like you're flexing your muscles. You look like a man-child who can't control himself culturally. So like some of the cultural differences might bother some people. But when I moved abroad, I was ready for a change, and I didn't get homesick or anything, so I was just ready. I was ready to go.
Do you have any experience that you can share with the audience? Because most of the videos that I uploaded, I did before. A lot of people, a lot of comments. Some, maybe let me just say some comments. They're talking about the health care facilities here. Do you have something, your experience to share about the healthcare, the hospital system here?
Yeah, quite a few actually. As far as how good are the hospitals here, it's probably true that if I needed a major procedure, If I needed heart surgery, I would not probably have it here. This is not to say that the doctors here are very horrible, but we are one country away, an hour flight away from Burmangad Hospital, which is probably the best hospital on the Asian continent. And people from all over Asia, even the Middle East, will come and go to, like, fly to that hospital. So, I mean, if you have a major issue, then you should go there, probably. But for simple stuff like birth, you might say, well, that's not simple. But I mean, everyone's been born. It's a pretty common thing. We had 100% confidence that the doctors there would do well, and they did. Or just little things. Like one time I had a little sliver of metal in my foot. I don't even know where it came from. They were able to track it down with an ultrasound. They're a very modern hospital, and they took it out. My yearly heart and health checkups and all that, I do that here, and I have complete confidence in them, and they had very nice facilities. Yeah, I would say I would go here unless it's something extremely major. Yeah, there have been a few times where somebody diagnosed something wrong, and I knew they diagnosed it wrong, and so I just went to another hospital. But that happened in the USA plenty of times too, where the doctors confidently told me the wrong thing, and I believed it wasn't, and I, got a second opinion. So that can happen anywhere. The hospitals here are okay. I wouldn't want to have brain surgery here, but anything less than like really major stuff like that, you're totally fine.
I think it's the same everywhere. Of course, you cannot use the hospital care here to compare to the US. US is one of the top when it comes to healthcare.
Well, like the quality of healthcare is tip top, but so is the cost.
Yeah,
It's just so expensive. People don't want to go to the doctor in America. They they put off health concerns until it becomes so horrible, major health concern. That they ignore signs of cancer, hoping it's something else until it's stage 4 because they're scared of going to the doctor and getting a $250,000 bill. Um, but here in Cambodia, you don't worry about that stuff because it's all pretty cheap, and you can get health insurance pretty cheaply as well. There's some really good hospitals. There's Royal, which is okay. It's pretty good. Kim is okay. There's I can't remember. It's the new best hospital. What is it called? Intercare. Is Intercare. They say Japanese Sunrise is pretty good. It's all Japanese equipment, Japanese doctors. The U.S. healthcare is more
yeah.
advanced, but it's just too expensive.
What do you like the most about living in Cambodia?
I think the best part is how easy it is to live here. Of course, it's cheap too. I'm paying $600 a month for I'll change this to American, a 1,000 square foot apartment, so 100 square meter apartment. $600 a month for a 100 square meter apartment, with 2 bedrooms and 2 baths on the 14th floor of the country's capital. $600 a month. So you try to go to Washington D.C. or any major city in America, get 1,000 square feet in the middle of the city for $600 a month. Let me know how that goes. Try living in New York City for $600 a month for an apartment, or anywhere. I lived in Asheville, North Carolina for about 12 years before moving here, and nowadays, like a 400 square foot a garbage pit of an apartment is going to run you $1,500 a month. You can have such a better lifestyle here, both walkability and convenience, and the cost of living, and things more interesting. The travel opportunities are much better. I can be in Vietnam for $40. Try that. I mean, in America, you can go to Vietnam too if you spend your only week of pay vacation that you get all year long, and then spend $1,500 a ticket and travel for 28 hours each way to get there. Sure, you can do that too. I can do it in an hour for $40. So there's just a lot of advantages to living in Cambodia, or indeed anywhere in Southeast Asia, over living anywhere in the West, including the United States.
Would you imagine yourself going back to America?
No, never. If I have gone back to the United States to live, you know that something really bad has happened in my life. Something really bad that has forced me to go back. I do not want to go back to the United States to live. And I only go back to visit every couple of years to see some family, and that's it. And life in Asia, Southeast Asia at least, is just better if you're an American. You can, like I say, it's more interesting, and there's better travel. Your money goes much farther. And again, I'm not here to roast the United States. Like, there's a lot of advantages to living in the United States. It's just my personal preference is that I prefer Southeast Asia. And I mean, I had all that stuff that you'd want in America. I had a giant house on a huge piece of land. I had, a pickup truck and a car, and the house was full of really nice things. But I just got tired. About the time I turned 40, I got tired of it, and just sold my house and sold my cars and sold my stuff because moved abroad. It was the best decision I ever made in my life.
For you, growing up or living in the US, the life you live over there compared to the life here in Cambodia?
Well, I mean, I guess I enjoyed the U.S. For a while. I just kind of got bored of it. I mean, the U.S. is very different from most countries. Just like even in like the city layouts where America started to get really successful after World War II, like right when cars were getting really big, and so all the cities are built out like big suburbs and out sprawling. And you're like, oh, I live close to the city. I'm only 30 minutes away. And everywhere else in the world, the cities are built kind of up, right? So you have to drive everywhere, and you can't survive without a car. Like, you have a car, but you don't have to have a car, not in Phnom Penh, right? There are many other things. You can probably walk the 90% of the stuff you need if you live here. But in America, you had to drive everywhere. Simon and I and William visited some family in America this last summer. We were in Virginia. We were driving through that's the town of about 200,000 people, so like a mid-sized town. And we were driving through the neighborhoods, and Simai looked out the windows and she said, Aaron, where is everybody? Because she saw all the houses. There were houses everywhere, and there was no one on the streets. There were cars driving up and down the streets, but no one walks anywhere. Like, the lifestyle is completely different. It's like being in another planet almost. It's just completely different. I went back to America to visit this last summer, and I was bored to death. It's just every street kind of looks the same, and it's all, McDonald's and Best Buys and Burger Kings and all this stuff. And I don't know. Asia's just much more interesting, much more vibrant, much more alive. A lot of people from this part of the world, I think I'm crazy when they're like, why would you want to live here instead of the United States? Because the United States isn't very interesting, to be honest. Sorry, Americans. I don't dislike America. I don't hate America. It's just, this is a much more interesting place to live.
What people don't really know about Cambodian people that you think maybe you should point out?
I hate to generalize because every culture is made up of many different people. But I would say that Cambodians as a whole are literally the nicest people I've ever met, as a whole. And I've met nice people in every country. But the Cambodians are probably the friendliest people overall that I have met. And they're generally honest, and they're very welcoming. I really like how nice they are. So they're very nice.
Do you have any Cambodian habits now?
My Cambodian habits are more related to my Thai wife because the culture is not so different. I know that Cambodians and Thais don't always get along really well, but the culture, having lived in both countries and having a Thai wife, I'd say the culture is very, very, very similar. Let's see. In America, we never take off our shoes before we come into the house. So in America, I'd walk into my house with my work boots and lay on the couch with my work boots on, right? That would probably be the last thing I ever did in my in my apartment now, because I have a Thai wife. Cambodians are the same way. You just don't bring the shoes inside. So that's one thing I did. Another thing, I become more calm and less likely to shout. Not to say I was like a big shouter shouting at everybody. You can't shout here. It won't get you anywhere. So if you get angry at somebody, I've just learned to be patient, keep the anger inside, be patient, and wait for the problem to resolve itself. The only time I get angry maybe now is in traffic.
But yeah, even if you get angry, nothing will change it.
No, yeah, right. Exactly. It's like, sure, some people do drive like idiots around here, and some guy pulls out in front of you, or they run a red light or whatever. You can shout at them all day. That's not going to make the other 14 million Cambodians drive differently, so you might as well not even get upset. That's what I tell myself, but I do occasionally get a little angry in traffic. And I've never once in my life seen a person from Cambodia run into anywhere. I've never seen it once in my life. It's never going to happen. And that's fine. Like if I wanted Cambodia to be like the United States, I might as well just stay in the United States. So yeah, it's nice to have the different culture. I enjoy the different cultures.
You mentioned your wife is Thai, right? I don't know if you can answer this question, but if you want to skip it, I respect that. Before you plan to move to Cambodia, what is your wife reaction like?
Well, first of all, Sinai is an amazing woman and mother and wife. We get along really well. So she said, I'll go wherever you go. And she said, I'll enjoy it. When she first came, because even in Thailand, unfortunately, people hear things that aren't true about Cambodia. Cambodia has a more negative rap there than it should, like in many places. And she got here and she quickly learned that Cambodian people are just normal people and very friendly. And she's come to really enjoy living here. She actually really likes it here. She likes how friendly everybody is. It really helped that when William was born, all the locals were very, very, very friendly toward William and just seemed to love him. And so that really helped. And so she has a very high view of Cambodians, and she really likes them and really liked living here a lot. And she really loves her neighborhood and all that. And again, the Thais and the Cambodians have a history of a little bit of disagreement, maybe sometimes a lot of disagreement. And she wasn't one of those Thais who hated Cambodians. She never was. But she was still a little scared, a little bit, of coming here. And I'm like, it'll be fine. I've been there before. It's great. And she really enjoys living there.
The Cambodians mistake her to Cambodians.
Oh, constantly. Yeah. Usually every conversation with people we don't know start like this. So we walk up to them or whatever to buy something, and they immediately start chattering to her. Am I? Then she doesn't know what to say. They look confused, like, why isn't this lady talking to us? And then they say something again, and then she says, no, I am Thai. And they're like, oh, you look Cambodia. And it's always the same conversation every time. Yeah, we never had anyone react negatively to her saying, well, I'm Thai.
Oh. You have kids, right?
Yeah. Our son William was born here in Cambodia.
What is it like, raising kids here in Cambodia?
I've seen people on forums asking things like on Reddit and that kind of thing. Oh, how can you raise a kid here? Or is it safe to raise a kid here? Or, I mean, Cambodians raise kids here all the time, right? So why can't I? It's been fine. We had a great experience at the hospital, which was really modern and affordable. And so William had no trouble being born. And there's lots of places to take him. There's parks, although there's none in Tultampong, but it's just $1.50 tuk-tuk right away. And there's lots of other kids to play with, and there's the mall, and there's the kid zones at the malls. And now that he's old enough, he's almost 3, we walk around the neighborhoods together and all that stuff. And he loves to go out and just get out of the apartment and walk through wherever. And yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. He goes to an international school already at 2, and he's made lots of friends there. The Cambodians absolutely adore him, and they're the friendliest people I've ever met as a whole in any country, anywhere. Been all over the world and never met people more friendly than Cambodians. And although he's half Thai and half American, he looks completely like a Barang, completely like a white child. And if I had not seen him emerge myself when he was born, I would say, how can he be half Thai? And so it's got this really white skin, and so the locals who are obsessed with that kind of thing for some reason, they're always like pinching his face and like touching. It's like, does that skin feel like our skin? And which of course it does. And they're always going crazy over him, and it's been a wonderful country.
Do you speak Khmer?
Now, just a few words. I don't know if it's some mental block or something. I've never been able to learn other languages well at all. I was in a Spanish class, and Spanish is quite easy to learn if you're an English speaker. And try as I might, I just couldn't pick it up. I just couldn't do it. And I remember my teacher in 7th grade, Senor Lawrence. He said I was one of the only students he'd ever given an F to, from middle school up to the high school level. And I just flailed and floundered through that, and I've never been able to pick up languages. I don't know why, but I just can't. I've tried.
But you can introduce yourself, right?
No, I mean, I can, not really. I can say thank you. Sorry. I'm sorry, Cambodia. Sorry. No, it's an embarrassment. It's foreigner. I should definitely be learning the local language. Sure, sadly.
But do you regret not learning Cambodian, not speaking Khmer?
I would know. I would love to speak Khmer. I tried to learn Thai, as my wife is Thai, and I just couldn't seem to do it. And I tried, like I tried studying the alphabet, and after about the 4th or 5th character, they just all looked the same to me. I couldn't. I tried. I really tried, and I just couldn't. I couldn't get it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think because assuming you are with Khmer wife, that would be easier for you to learn. But your wife is Thai. I can understand that.
Both languages I think, are quite hard.
Yeah, for me, I think Cambodia, Khmer is really hard.
Yeah, I'll have a word memorized, and 3 days later I can't remember it anymore. It's just I don't know why. I just can't do it. I can barely speak English, in fact.
But do you think it's important for foreigners to learn the language?
Yes, they should probably learn the language if they're moving to another country. Please don't use me as an example of how to do that. You should definitely learn. I would say that the number of people that speak English here are more than in Thailand.
You've been here for 4 years. What do you think is do and don't in Cambodia?
I wouldn't come in. I'll do it don't first. I wouldn't come in with the attitude of the way we do it in my country is the right way. Again, forget the right and wrong. It's just different. And you've got to accept that it's different. Don't come in and completely apply your values to your new country. That's not just Cambodia. It's anywhere you go. And if you're moving here, you should expect that it's going to be different, and you just have to be okay with that. There will be frustrations, but try not to get too worked up over it. So don't apply the way it is in your country to this country. It's not the same. It's never going to be the same. And you can work yourself up into a frenzy over that, or you can deal with it and you can be okay with it. And that's the part I recommend. Another thing I would recommend is to be kind to the local Cambodians. They're really nice people. They deserve a better hand than they've been dealt. And if you're nice to them, I guarantee you they'll be nice back. And also, whatever country you're from, please don't embarrass yourself in your home country. Be humble and just be accepting of differences.
Let's talk a little bit about making videos here in Cambodia. What is it like? I don't know if this is your full-time job, making videos.
No, I'll just say my full-time job is I'm a teacher in the international school, a science teacher. So that's my job. And then the YouTube thing is a spare time type thing.
For my own understanding, I know, because of course I'm making videos. I know that it takes a long time when editing, making plans, making videos. How do you combine making content and your teaching job?
Oh, I just do it when I'm not working, and I don't spend a lot of time doing it, to be honest. My content is just like, well, I should probably go this weekend and do a video, and I've got a little list on my phone of a few ideas, and then it's all unscripted, so I just do it, then edit it, throw it up there.
The second last video you posted, you drive around. Yeah. How was it? Can you, if you want to say something about it?
Yeah, it was a great experience. First of all, you probably can ride a motorcycle in Cambodia, and it's not that difficult. As long as you go slowly, then you're fine. Like, people do all kinds of stupid stuff on the road, but if you go slowly enough, you can respond to anything. So Cambodia now has internet pretty much everywhere. So just get a phone mount with a charger and put your phone on there with Google Maps, and you can go anywhere you want. It does help if you're going to go across the country, and if you're not using like a dirt bike, just to plan it out a little bit, and just put on Google Maps, click the satellite button, and just zoom down in to make sure that the roads are paved, or you could end up in some trouble with the mud. And I've done that before. But you don't even have to have a big bike. Like, I got a fancy big bike, but you don't have to do that. Like, the locals take trips across the country in much worse bikes than mine. You get like a Honda Click or a Scoopy, and strap a bag to the back and put a phone mount on the front, and you too can drive around Cambodia on the increasingly large number of well-paved roads. Like, the Cambodians will bend over backwards to help you. So if like you got a problem with your bike, they'll help you. There's no doubt in my mind they will help you. And it's way better to actually use a motorbike for traveling around the country than a car, because like, you're in a car and you're like looking out at the scenery. But if you're on the motorbike, you're in the scenery, you're part of the scenery. Like, there's no roof, there's no floor, you're just out there, and it's really nice. You're not gonna get cold. You can cop on your $600 Honda Dream and drive it around, but like, I wouldn't drive it if your vehicle is like too crappy. But if it's pretty reliable and good shape, yeah, do it. It's great. There's a lot of cool stuff to see. If you have a dirt bike, like some people do, you can see some really amazing stuff in the off-roads, or in the dry season like now where it doesn't rain much. You can go even on the dirt roads and they won't be muddy or anything.
Where is your favorite city here in Cambodia? You've traveled around long.
Phnom Penh's my favorite city. I like it better than Siem Reap, although Siem Reap's nice. It's my favorite city here, actually. Yeah, there's just something for everybody, and except quiet. Okay, there's not quiet here, but I don't like it quiet. I like Phnom Penh because it's alive. There's people everywhere. You go out onto the street and there's tuk-tuks going by and people walking around, and you have motorcycles sitting all over the place, and cars and trucks and food vendors shouting to get your attention. And I love Phnom Penh. It's great. Siem Reap's charming though.
Do you have any advice for the foreigners who move to Cambodia, who plans to move to Cambodia? Any advice?
Yeah, just things are going to be different, and there's no right or wrong. There's just different, and different is okay. So nothing will be the same from your home country. Nothing will. And so there's two options with that. One is that could bother you, or you can accept it from the very beginning. And so if you accept it from the very beginning, if you're like, everything's going to be different and I'm going to be different with it, then you're going to be fine. And if you can't do that, you probably should just not move abroad. I've known a lot of people who they came here and things were different, but they didn't really have the right mindset. The right mindset is, this is my home now. My old home is the past, and you need to get rid of it and get rid of the past. This is my home now. If you can truly internalize that, then you won't be like the people that come in and at first is great, but then the homesickness sets in and the culture shock sets in. It's for a lot of people, the common thing is 1 to 2 months of, I love this place, it's amazing. And that's not Cambodia, it's everywhere else outside your home country. And then, you start to, you say to yourself, well, everyone's the same, it's how, the way everybody's the same. And then you start to switch over, you start noticing the differences, and then you kind of retreat into this hatred of the new place that you're in, because it's so different. You get homesick, and And usually by about 6 months, I think um, most people then go to where they should be, where they recognize the differences and they accept them. I actually never went through any of that. I had back in America over the years, 8 different foreign exchange students lived with me from 8 different countries, and every one of them went through that same roller coaster. But I never did when I moved abroad. I just I I said this is my home, and it was very easy. Like I really had it here in my heart. This is my home now, and my old home is in my home at bar, and that makes it easy. If you can do that, like really do that, you'll be fine.